Hey everybody, this is Corey from pythonfordatascience.org and welcome to Quick Py. We will be going over how to recode values in Python. So let's take a look at our data set. Loaded the data set into a pandas data frame. I shortened pandas as PD just to save some time typing. Let's use the info, see what we're working with here. Okay, we have a total of 1,010 rows or observations with 151 columns or variables. Columns and variables, same thing. But that doesn't give us all the information we need. Let's take a look at the column names. Okay, since we have 151 columns, it doesn't list them all to save some window space, but we'll be working with age and village town. Take a better look at those. Since age is most likely going to be a continuous variable, we can use the describe method on it to get a good information. Total of 1,003 observations, average age of 20, standard deviation 2.83. The youngest individual is 15 and the oldest is 30. That'll have to keep that in mind when we recode this variable. Now let's take a look at the other variable, village town. Since this variable is most likely categorical, we can still use the describe method on it, but we're not going to get as much information that we want. See, it gives you the total counts there, unique values of 2. The top occurrence is city with 707 occurrences. A better way to get a look at categorical data is using the value counts method. Here we go. So this will list all the values, all the categories with the counts. So again, city, 707 occurrences, and village, 299 occurrences. For this example, we're going to be particular. We're going to want our values to match the column name. So we want to change city to town. We want stuff to make sense. We can do this easily with the function. To create a function, you just define it. Whatever name you want to name it. I'm going to name this village. And we are passing a series. It's good practice to name your function after what it's doing to remind you, or your teammate, somebody else that may be looking at it. So we get to test the values. So if series is equal to the value city, you have to remember, Python is case sensitive. So you have to make sure everything matches. Then we're going to return the value town. Else return series. So let's break this down. So we're creating the function, calling it series, or calling it village, passing a series into it. If the series value is equal to city, we're going to return the value town. If the series value is anything else besides city, that's what it's saying, anything else besides city, return series, return the original value. To run this within Spider, we have to highlight it all and hit F9. Beautiful. I want to recode the values over the original value. So we use an assignment statement with the apply method. So the name of the column, name of the original column, same thing since we're writing itself. Use the apply method, and then we pass our custom function in there. We can hit F9 within Spider to run it. I ran it just fine. And now let's take a look at it. And we can see there are 707 occurrences of town, 299 occurrences of village. You can double check to make sure, and sure enough, everything worked out just fine. Now we can also do this with continuous data, recoding it to categorical data or what have you. We're gonna, for this next example in here, we're gonna recode, or we're gonna create categories based off of the age variable. We want them in 2 categories instead of the continuous it is, just for some comparison that we want. So let's take another look at this age variable. Okay, now we can keep those numbers in mind. Remember, youngest age is 15 years, oldest is 30 years. We're creating these categories. So we're going to create a function, call it age groups this time, still passing a series. So if the series value is less than 20, return 15 to 19 years. I'm just picking categories out of thin air. So these are just how I want them grouped. I'm not basing off a distribution or anything like that, just demonstrating. If you're actually doing this for some type of research, you're going to want to take a look at the distribution to see how you should bin them together. So they're about equal groups or something that makes sense to your study. All right, so the next one is if 20 is less than or equal to the series value, and it's also less than 25, return 20 to 24 years. And LF again, the value is 25, less than series, return 25 to 30 years. So now let's go through this. We are creating our function. We're calling it age groups. We're passing series into it. So if the series value is less than 20, it's going to return the value of 15 to 19 years. If 20 is less than or equal to the value of series, which is also less than 25, return the value 20 to 24 years. If, again, 25 is less than or equal to series, return 25 to 30 years. The difference between using elif and else is this. In this one, it's saying, if the series value is equal to city, return town. Else, return the original value. So if it's anything besides city, just return itself. This is saying it's testing it multiple times. So elif is which you need to go. It's going to go in sequential order. First, it's going to test it at this line. It's going to test the series value if it meets this statement. If it doesn't, it's going to go to the next statement. It's going to test it here. If it doesn't meet this statement, it's going to test it here. And if there's another like catch-all, then a way to do it, you can just put a line that says else return series, which is going to return itself. Let's actually just do that. So now if it doesn't meet this statement, this statement, this statement, then it's just going to return itself. Okay. And we're going to create a new variable because we want to keep the original variable. We're going to call the new variable age groups. And we are going to apply our method, our function, to the original value. So it's applying our function to this series, and it's going to recode the values based on these statements, and it's going to put it into this new variable. And now we can just take a look at that. And there we go. You can see it's out of order. It's ordering it from most occurrences to least occurrences. If you don't want it to be ordered, you can simply just pass the sort argument to false. And you can see here how it doesn't sort them. So now we got 97 people that are 25 to 30 years, 480 that are 20 to 40 years, and then 426 individuals that are 15 to 19 years old. And that's it for this topic. If there's anything else, feel free to comment, and we'll get another video out there for you guys. Thanks.